There are two ways to get to this park. This beautifully paved road, or this stoned road, which is what I came up. And the sign was kind of covered when I got here. So I went right by this for some reason. I thought it was a country club, which I guess it is. What can you say? Let's go in and say hi.
Had 152 players in it, quite a few pros in it.
No.
We got 35 miles of ATV trails. That stringer fish was caught out here by one guy. We've had recent catches. We had some 9.5 pounds caught about 2 months ago. Last year was one that was 11.5. Had 16-inch crappie I measured.
So there are 3 campgrounds: Deer Run, where I'm at, Eagle Ridge, which is next to us, just across the little bay, and Warrior Trails, which is way up over on the top of the hill here. Here is a campground map of the different campgrounds, and you can see this is where I am, Deer Run, where I am, across from Eagle Ridge, and then the map has individual sites where I am. Warrior, there's Deer Run, I'm at 23, and there's Eagle Ridge. So this is the Warrior Trails equestrian area, and it looks like it's just another campground, but they do have this horse barn that I guess you can rent and keep your horses in there if you want to. And it looks like this is horse parking over here. And they have corral. And this also is full hookup. The spacing amongst the sites is a little better. And it looks pretty level. But it's in the sun. It's not in the trees. I mean, since it's full hookups, if you've got air conditioning and heat, who cares? And it is right next to the lake, of course. There's plenty of lakefront. Not quite where you can have a view of the lake like ours, but this is all brand new campsite right here. And they're all concrete pads with picnic tables and what I would call hibachis, raised grills. A lot of people with personal watercraft and boats. Let's see what their bathroom looks like. It's a little soggy on the outside because it rained yesterday. Let's see what it's like inside. Boy, it's pretty much the same as ours. There's one stall, one huge shower. Now this is definitely your big handicap shower. You've got lots of stuff, you've got lots of hooks. This is going for the 9s in here, and it's extremely clean. I don't know. There's something mystical about waking up at a campground on a lake. Just the foggy start of the day. It's just cool. Let's start our day. He's ready with a stick. And we're off. While all of these campsites are full hookups, They're really pretty nice. We got a pull through, 65-foot pull through, because you know the A-liner really needs that extra room. It's hard to maneuver it around. But there's my buddy in his camp light, aluminum, and the fog is just rolling in. It's like, must be around 8:30, 9 o'clock, and it is just super foggy. There's a campground play yard. Maybe we'll play on the swings. If I can get Keela up on the slide, that'd be interesting. And we get down here, and this is a humongous cedar tree. I think it's a red cedar, but there's a whole group of a nice line of cypress. These are beautiful cypress trees, and they're pretty cool. You know, if you're from the north or you're not from this area, you know, you probably think cypress trees are pretty neat because they're so lacy looking, and they have these awesome knees that come jutting out of the ground. All right, it's a foggy morning, but we're gonna do a quick tour of the Deer Run side of this campground. This is a very nice campground, state park actually. Every campsite is full hookups. It's got sewer, water, and electric, and it does have 50 amps, so it's pretty nice. It has a dump station that looks pretty prehistoric, but I guess it works, so who cares? There's no fresh water at the dump station, but there's fresh water, of course, at every campsite. So let's go down and we'll see some of the campsites. Now the sites are a little hard to find because the numbers are on the road right in front of the driveway, and some of the driveways are big and some of them are not. They're pretty well listed in the reservation site, but they're about spaced about 15 to 20 feet apart, so they are a little close. But that's lakefront full hookup campsites. They're really designed to have a trailer where you have peace and quiet in the trailer. So some of the sites are more private than others. And of course it goes around a circle. And there are double sites, like this site right in front of us. Number 21 is a double site. It's supposed to take 2 different campers. But I think I don't believe they reserve them out individually. I think you take the double site and pay for it. But here's 2 nice, really level sites right on the water. Although you can't see it, but they're concrete, so they're very level. What numbers are these? So that must be 11, and this must be 12. So if you got a really nice rig, that's a nice site. It's 9 with a nice pop-up. Here's 8 with a big old 5th wheel with a lot of slide outs. Right next to it is 7. And here's 24 is a pull through, and 25, which is a pull through on the inside loop. Hi. There's 5. That dog was making a lot of noise this morning, I'll tell you that. He's a squeaky little thing. Here's 4 as a backup. Back in sight right on the water. I don't know if you can get to the water from your site. The shore looks pretty weedy, nasty, grown up. let's see if Site 4, which is an old site, but it's got everything it needs. If you could have gotten to the water. Whoa! Just missed a spider web there. It looks like you probably could walk out there with a kayak or something, but it looks kind of soggy. No. Okay, this is Eagle Ridge Campground, and this is a pretty nice place. It's really designed for groups, and of course the A-Liner Rally is here this weekend, so there are a ton of pointy head campgrounds. Now this is Site 26, 27, and 28. They're all pretty close together. Then we have Site 29, and this is Site 30, Site 31, Site 32. All of those are pretty close. Now 32 is right across from the bathroom and other areas. This is 34. It's got a little space between it and the next one. And then there's 35, 36, 37 are on the end of the loop, kind of on the end of the pair. And that's 37, 38, and 40, 39, and 40 with the big rig there, with the truck, pickup truck. And then the best site on this loop, in my opinion, if you like to be private and alone, is number 41, which is this one right here, right on the lake. You got trails right next to you. It's got privacy on either side. That's a pretty nice site. Now, next to that, that's pretty nice, is also, what is this, 43. And this is 44 with the nice coachman, and 45, which goes way back there. And then there's 46, which nobody's on today, but it has lots of firewood. Keela saw that. Oh, that's 47. That's 47 and 48. Now we're switching with the inside of the circle, so I'm running the numbers wrong, but this is 50 on the outside. And this is 51. And this is 52, just on the edge of the campground. That's a nice site too, and that's a pretty level site. This campground has a beautiful laundry room, and it's cheap. $1.50 for a wash and $1.50 for a dry. That's pretty damn cheap.
What we got? Question here?
Here is the bigger boat launch site for the bigger boats, and there's a nice fish cleaning station. But at the moment it seems to be closed because of the season, probably. But you can get, it looks like 2 or 3 boats in or out of here at the same time. Looks like you can purchase a fishing license online or by calling up. Nice picnic pavilion and playground out here by the end of the Frisbee golf course, or maybe this is the beginning. I don't see the holes. No swimming in the lake. Going down the road to the primitive camping. And I guess these are tent sites along the lake or wherever they, just like every place else, they don't have any numbers or anything, so maybe you just camp where you wanna. But it's right side of the boat launch area. So in the middle of the morning, you're going to hear people coming out with their boats. This is the road to the cabins. There's 6 cabins, I think. No. Must be 8 cabins, 9 cabins maybe. But the cabins are kind of like mobile homes. Mobile homes near the water with a deck. These ones anyways. Down here are a little more like a cottage. There's 2 of these. They don't seem to be rented this weekend. This park has a plethora of numerous mountain bike trails. The signs are a little worn, but there's maps and stuff for the trails, and I guess they're quite a few miles, 20 miles or so, mountain bike trails. So if you're a mountain biker, that's kind of nice. Here's a nice little boat launch site. Not huge, but it's got a dock for getting your stuff in and out, and there's some pretty good boats coming in here. Not a lot of trailer space for parking, but I guess that's maybe what I was in, just up the hill a little bit. But there's room. There's fish in this lake, I'm sure of that. The disc course, the disc golf course, frisbee golf as I call it, is very professional. It's a competition course, and these are the bike trails through the park. And like I say, the different trails, 6.5, 3, and 4.5, 15 miles. But the course has, the disc course has beautiful tee-off spots, and it tells you where you got to go, and you can see the holes way down there. We are about to go on a hike on the Maroney Trail. The boy is eager to go. I guess I better get his leash. Colors in the fall aren't very prevalent, but when you come around a corner and you see all this orange, you have to wonder if it's getting close to Halloween. Look at all that orange. You just see this from afar, you wonder what the heck. All these orange mushrooms. Pretty cool. Boy, one day of rain and there's mushrooms everywhere that are pretty good eaties. Yes, sir. It's a mushroom feast in this forest. And Akila is really upset that I'm using this stick to knock down the spider webs before I walk into them. And he wants it. But he can't have it because it's knocking down the spider webs. Talk about spooky trees in the forest. What's keeping this one up? That's a big tree with nothing around the bottom except a little bit of wood. And it's a great big tree that goes way up in the air, and it's pretty green. It's got a lot of leaves on it. It's always good to see the markers. We're on mile 1.5 of our 4-mile trail, so that's good. I feel better. So this trail is like, it's hard to follow this trail, so I think we might have gone a little more than 1.5 all over the place, but we're going. All right. We found the 2.2 mile marker. Unfortunately, it was down on the ground, but we're still on the trail. This is a neat trail. It's like, it's practically unused down in the lowlands. The highlands, it looks a little more like it's been taken care of by an ATV, but getting hot and sweaty. We're at mile 3.5. We're doing all right. Not sure if this is something that's just kind of mutated or if that's really a mushroom that's supposed to look like that. And for comparison, here's another one just across the trail. I think those are the good ones. Oi, I don't have my book. I don't buy them without the book. Like everything in this park, this trail is just poorly maintained too. It's a nice trail. We've seen deer and lots. All right, here's the end. 4.3. It's a good hike on a hot day. It got hot, and there's the car, cold water, and air conditioning. Just as an explanation of what I do when I hike around is I usually run my phone on one of these 3 apps. Either the Map My Walk, Map My Run, or All Trails, which keeps a map of where I'm going and how many miles I've gone and all that. It's really nice to be able to kind of log your exercise and what you do on these trips, so you have a record of the fun you have. And especially since I'm doing YouTube videos, it's nice to know. That trail was pretty nice because it had markers every couple tenths of a mile, really. Does give me a nice map of where I went in the trail, so that's kind of cool. I like it. For those of you that are completely retired, this may not be of any issue to you and you live on a clock of your own time, but if you're working and have a regular schedule and you travel to a nice campground in another time zone, boy, I'll tell you, it really messes with your brain. Akila, of course, gets up at 4 o'clock Eastern time, and we are in Mississippi, which is Central time. And so that 4 o'clock becomes 3 o'clock, and I'm really ready to get up at 5 o'clock Eastern time, and that's 4 o'clock Central time. So we're really messed up. We've been up in the dark for a couple hours, and we did a lot of editing and stuff like that because we're in a campground with electricity, which allows us to do that. But it's something to consider because we've kind of wasted 3 hours of the day in reality that there's no light. And here it is, it's 7 o'clock Central time, and that's 8 o'clock my work time, which is 3 hours into the day, and I'm I'm ready for a nap. I'm ready to go to bed. Everybody else is just getting up.